Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Wonderful, wonderful. Happy Sabbath to you. I hope you had a great morning. I hope that as you would have gone out into the churches, that you would have impacted them in such a way that out of that, those activities that you will see more persons becoming part of this wonderful ministry. So let me just say happy Sabbath. As I said, I hope you had a good morning. And this is my first of my two presentations for this afternoon. And once again, we're talking about responding to the call and how we should respond to the call. And we talked a little bit about time management last night, and today we're going to talk about another important topic. As a literature evangelist, that we should be very aware of, and principles that we should be applying to our lives so that we can have successful ministries. Because when God calls us, he doesn't call us to fail. He calls us to be successful. I'm going to say it again. In fact, you can say it to the person next to you. God calls us to be successful. Say it again. Say it again. God calls us to be successful. God calls us to be successful. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. God calls us to be successful. And so that is why he has given us all that we need in order to gain success. Somebody should say amen. If it was there, I would probably give somebody a high five, you know. But so we're so happy to be part of this ministry, and we're so happy to invite others, to be directed by God, to invite others to be part of this ministry. And so today we want to this afternoon I want to begin with a very important topic, the whole aspect of financial management for literature evangelists, the whole aspect of financial management for literature evangelists. Talk about how to manage your money, how to manage the money so that you can manage your debt, to manage your mortgage, your rent, how to manage your money. So financial management for literature evangelists. And the question that we got to ask ourselves, this is a very important question. And I want you to talk to your partner, talk to your partner for the next 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, 2 minutes answering the question. In fact, no, 2 minutes is a lot of time. I'm going to give you a minute. Is literature evangelism a ministry or a business? Is literature evangelism a ministry or a business? Talk to your partner about it. See if you can convince them or they can convince you. But somebody got to convince somebody. Somebody got to convince somebody. Is literature evangelism, being a literature evangelist, is it? Am I in a ministry or am I in a business? That is the question that you are answering. And I'm going to give you a couple more seconds. Talk to that person next to you. Tell them what you really think. And then they may ask you to give evidence for your answer, and sure working. All right. You have a minute. I'm gonna stop talking now so that you can concentrate and don't listen to me. All right. So that's your minute. I'm not there to hear some of the answers, but for those who said it is a ministry, you're half right. For those who said it is a business, you're half right. For those who said it is both. Literature evangelism is both a ministry and a business. It is both a ministry and a business. It is both. It is both. It is a ministry and a business. And if we treat it only like a ministry, we're going to find ourselves in financial stress. We're going to find ourselves in debt. We're going to find ourselves can't manage our finances. We're going to find ourselves with loans and bills, and all of these things are going to create some financial stress if we treat it only like a ministry. If we treat it only like a ministry, then it would create financial stress. Financial stress. And if we treat it only like a business, that would also create financial stress as well, because all we're going to be looking for is getting money. And that in itself will create stress. So that is why I want to say it is both. It is both a ministry, and it is also a business. Now, the Luke chapter 14 and verse 28 tells us, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? If you're becoming part of a ministry, wouldn't it be prudent to sit down and reconcile your vision with the cost to achieve your vision? You remember we talked about vision last night in terms of your vision helping you to plan. So now we're talking about a vision now, and reconciling your vision with the cost of the vision. What will it cost me? What will it cost to achieve this vision? What will it cost to achieve? What will it cost to achieve the vision? What will it cost to achieve the different objectives and the plans that I'm going to put in place? What will it cost? So you got to be able as a literature evangelist to understand that the ministry, in fact, every ministry has some element of financial cost attached to it. And before you get involved in that ministry, you must be able to ascertain what is that cost, and then make a decision that you're willing to sacrifice to pay that cost, to pay that cost to get the success that is necessary in ministry. So you got to be able to reconcile your vision with the cost. This is what Sister White says, called Porter Ministry, page 94. She says the canvassing work is not to be conducted in a slack, loose manner. Those engaged in work that calls for the handling of what? The handling of money should keep a strict. Did you see that word there? The word is strict, not lackadaisical, not anyhow. She says you must keep a strict account of every penny received and paid out. Every penny received and paid out. So she says, if you're involved in the canvassing work, don't be slack, don't be loose, because any person that's involved in the ministry that handles money, any work that handles money, should keep a strict account, should manage well every penny that you receive and that you pay out. She says the education and accuracy thus gained will fit them for greater usefulness. Who's the them? The literature evangelist. So the literature evangelist that pays attention to every penny received and every penny spent, that keeps a strict account of these things. He says that sort of accuracy, that sort of development of their character will fit them for greater usefulness by God. So God is going to use your literature ministry not only to bring people into the kingdom, but He's going to use your literature ministry to hone your skills so that you can be involved in a greater work. You can be involved in other work for the master. So one of the keys to proper financial management, because if you're going to manage that money, we call it financial management, money management. And one of the keys to proper financial management is having what we will call a budget. Budget is gathering all your financial information. You calculate your income, you create a list of your expenses, you determine which expenses are fixed, which one is month, you make whatever adjustments, and at the end, you have a balance, profit, loss, whatever the case may be. But of course, you're trying to reach for a profit, right? You're trying to. I hope that you're reaching for a profit, because that is success. Profit is success. Profit is success. So now here are some elements of a budget. You have your income. Your income is the monies that you receive from the customer after selling them the solution. The income can also be the benefits you receive when you've reached a certain status. So you may get a rent benefit, you may get a transportation benefit, you may get a medical benefit, you may get an education benefit. All of these are benefits that you receive and should be considered part of the income of your business. Because now you're not just a ministry, you're also a business. So now we are looking at the business side of it. So now you have a business and you have to manage the money that comes in, how that money will be distributed to gain success. That's what a budget does. It gives you how much money you have coming in, and then it details how that money will be distributed to do what? To gain you success. So it's not just getting in money and spending money, getting in money and spending money. It must be for a particular objective, which is to give you success, which is to help you to reach and to achieve your vision at the end of the year, at the end of 2 years, at the end of 3 years. So you have your income, all of those funds coming in. Then you have your covenants, your tithe and your offerings, recognizing that all of what you have received is a blessing from God. And after taking out the costs to buy the book, to buy the solution, after taking out the cost to buy the solution or any tokens that you want for your customers, what is left is your profit, and you return your tithe and offering on that. Right? And then we another element of a budget is your investments, which means that out of the income that you bring in, you're going to return your tithe and your offering. You're going to buy books, but then you must also invest in other things that can enhance your ministry. And we're talking about technology. We're talking about technology. You may even buy a car. You may even buy a car. That's not funny at all. You may even buy a car, or bicycle or motorcycle, something that can enhance and can get you around so that you can do your ministry. Of course, we talk about the expenditure, which should be the cost of the books. And then there's a very, very important part of a budget, or money management. I should call this money elements of money management, is managing debt, managing your debt, right? Managing your debt. You may be debt to the IAPA store in that they may have given you books on credit, or it may be debt to an external agency where you would have gotten a loan for whatever the case may be. And so these are the elements of your budget, elements of your financial management. Now, one of the first areas we're going to look at is your income. What impacts your income? What impacts the money that you receive? Firstly, the number of customers. The number of customers that are buying from you. Because the more customers you have buying from you, you should be getting in more income. You should be receiving more money. Secondly, we're going to talk about management of your time. Because if you do not manage your time well, then you will not be able to meet more people, which means that it will reduce the amount of customers that you will see. And if you have a reduction in customers, therefore you have a reduction in income. Unless those customers are very rich customers and they're going to buy all of your books all of the time. But more often than not, a reduction of customers leads to a reduction of income. Poor management of time leads to a reduction of customers, which leads to a reduction of income. And of course, we're going to talk about this one a little later on, valuing your customers. Because when you value your customer, they become what? A repeat customer. And as a literature evangelist, you want a repeat customer. Why? 2 reasons why you want a repeat customer. And the first reason is not what you think it is. The first reason is a repeat customer gives you another opportunity to help them to improve or to increase or to grow in their walk with Jesus. Did you think about that one? A repeat customer who is not yet a Seventh-day Adventist, who is not yet a Christian, a repeat customer, every time that customer calls you, every time you relate to that customer, it is another opportunity for you to help that person grow in their walk with God. And then you have the next one, a repeat customer will give you more sales. A repeat customer will give you more sales. So every literature evangelist, as I would say, every literature evangelist should be ensuring that they have repeat customers, because repeat business, repeat customers is not only just an increase or another sale, but is another opportunity for you to talk to that person, to walk them in their walk with Christ. And then, of course, what will impact your income is the availability of books. Now, the IAPA store may have books, but you may not have the money to buy the books because you have not managed your money well. So you see why it's important to manage your money. That's why it's important to give strict account of every penny received and paid. So in order to make sure that you have books available, you must have money to purchase these books, to purchase these solutions. And of course, availability of books will also be dependent on the IAPA store, that they have the particular books that you need in their stock at the point in time that you need them. And the point in time that you need them. So these are things that impact your impact your income. If there are no books, you get no sales, which is no money. If you don't value your customers, you don't get repeat sales, which is reduced income. If you don't manage your time well, it means that you're not going to meet as much customers as you should, which will reduce your income. So all of this impacts your income. All this impacts your income. And as a literature evangelist, you have to be able to be looking at ways on how you can increase your income. And I just mentioned one just now, repeat customers. That is one, repeat business. If you can get every person that bought a book from you to buy another book, it means that you're going to make just as the same amount, or a little bit less, or a little bit more than the money that you made before. Yeah. And if you can get them to repeat a third time, woo, that makes it even better. That makes it even better. So let's look a little bit at what a sample budget will look like. What a sample budget will look like. And I'm going to give you the opportunity now to get a piece of paper out. I want you to get a piece of paper out. And I want you to be able to put what you're seeing on the screen now on that paper. You're going to put like sample budget. And I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you remember how much money you made last week? How many of you remember how much money you made last month? How many of you remember how much money you made last year? Yeah? I want you to think about that. I wish I was there to be able to see the hands going up. But Pastor Matt, first you have to take note and just send me a little WhatsApp and say, Pastor, only one person remember how much money they made last week. All right. So a budget and a financial statement. A budget is a financial statement. But then you have a financial statement which will give the actual. So you have your budget and you have your actual. Both of them can take the same format. So what you're saying is monthly income, weekly income, monthly income, annual income, right? How much income you got weekly? We receive weekly. How much income you receive monthly? How much income you receive annually? All right. So this is your income, and so you're sitting now to budget, and your budget income, your budgeted income is based on what you sold last year. That's the first stepping stone. Because remember, we're going to try to get all of those customers that bought last year to buy another book. So you're increasing your income is as one person would say, is getting old money, getting old money, which is repeat business, and getting new money, which is new business. So you're not only getting money from a previous customer, but you want to be able to make sure that you make new customers. And that is how you increase your income. So your income now will increase based on the number of new customers you have and based on the number of repeat customers who are ordering again. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit now on ways you can be able to touch those customers and so that they can reorder books. It means that you may have to visit them, canvas them another book, make sure get the feedback on the book that they brought previously and see how that is working, and offer them another solution. Sorry, I don't like using the word book. I'm not going to use the word books anymore. Offer them another solution. So this is a sample budget. This is just your income section of your sample budget. So I want you to get your paper, and I want you to fill it out this way: weekly, monthly, annually. What is your weekly income like? What is your monthly income like? What is your annual income like? All right. And this is what you want to use now as a basis for your budget, and also a basis on which to plan your to make your financial plans. All right. All right. So now we have looked at that part of the budget. Now let's look at what impacts your expenditure or the money spent. First, your purchases. You have to purchase books to sell books. Yeah, you have to purchase books to sell books. But if you purchase books that don't sell books, then you're going to find yourself with a lot of inventory and a lot of your cash tied up in books. All right. So, but book purchases impact your expenditure. So the more books you purchase, which means the more money you spend. But once you sell all of those books, it means that the more money you will make. All right. So your book purchase, remember we talked about availability of books. Your tithe and offerings, your covenant with God, that impacts your expenditure as well. Your tokens for customers. Remember we talked about, well, that's another thing that we're going to talk about in terms of valuing your customers. You may just buy a book, buy a small book, buy another book, for a very faithful customer. You may just want to celebrate an occasion with them, and you give them a book. You give them a book that you know will help them. And then there's another element that most people don't talk about. And I in my years as an accountant, and I had the privilege of working with small business owners as well, helping them with their accounts. And one of the challenges that they had is that they spent money on household. They used the money gained from the sale of the items that they were making, and use that money to buy household items. And when they went now to get money now to buy the material to make more items to sell, they were short. Why? Because they were taking all of the money that they had, that they received, and using it for personal expenditure. And so I said to them, this is the solution to that problem. The solution to that problem is very, very easy. Pay yourself a salary. Pay yourself a salary. And that salary will be responsible for all of your personal expenditure, your rent, if you got a mortgage, your gas bill for your car, your food, your phone bill, your water bill, your light bill. Yes, that is what that salary is supposed to cover. And so, of course, you want to know, if you want to get more salary, it means that you got to get more income, which means you got to meet more customers. All right. So these are things that impact your expenditure. How much money? So you receive in money, but now how are you going to distribute it? You're going to put back some into buying books. You're going to put back some. You're going to put some into tithe and offering. You're going to put some into tokens for your customers. And this new key one, you're going to put some for salary. I would encourage every literature evangelist to sit down and be able to calculate what their salary should be look like on a monthly or weekly basis. Yeah, and when they have reached that amount, they pay themselves that salary, which means now that all of the money that is left after book purchases, tithe and offering, tokens for customers, and your salary, you're free now to reinvest that in the business. And we're going to talk about that a little later. Now, here again is another sample budget, and then you would have seen that I would enter expenditure, and I've put some percentages there that you can sort of use as an average to work by. Obviously, you know your book purchase is going to be 50% of your sales. You know that your tokens for your customers, that's up to you. I say 5%, 5% of your income, 5% of your income that you can put in tokens for customers. Or you may go a little lower, you may put at 1% or 2%. That's up to you. I just put 5% as a good round number. And then, of course, your salary, I put your salary at 40%. All right. So that's 50 and 40 is 90 and 5 is 95, which means it leaves you 5%, 5% to be able to cover your tithe and offerings and cover reinvestment. All right. So you see so this is how now you would calculate how much tithe you return. You have your total income of 1,000, and I'm using US dollars. You buy books, $500. You buy something for your customers, $50, and you pay a salary. Excuse me. You pay yourself a salary, $400. So you're getting $400 a week. That's if you make $1,000 a week. You get $400 a week, and that gives your total expenditure of $950, which gives you a profit of $50. Right? Which gives you a profit of $50, and out of that, you're going to return tithe and offerings. And I usually put it at 20%, 10% for tithe and 10% for offering, which is about $10. And so you say this is what it will look monthly, this is what it will look annually. how much you were going to contribute to tithe and offering. Now, I also want you to understand that the salary that you receive should also be tithe. Why? You would notice where it comes in your budget. It comes before tithe is taken out. Right? It comes before tithe is taken out. It does not come after tithe is taken out. It comes before tithe is taken out. So it means that tithe has to be taken out on that as well when you calculate now a budget for your home. So you're going to have a budget for your business, finances for your business, and then finances for your home. Two separate financials. And your salary is going to be the income for your home. Your salary is going to be the income for your home budget. All right. I can't take any questions. I would love to take some questions, but I can't take any questions. So let's move on. And so now what you're seeing now is your profit, your tithes and offering, and you're left with $40 a week. What are you going to do with that $40? That excess $40. Now this is where most businesses fall down. They spend it in personal. No, what you do with that book? With that $40. You either buy additional books, you buy a tablet or a device just for business, not for your personal home where you can be surfing that and all that. You buy something for business, and we're going to talk a little bit more on technology. Tomorrow, we're going to talk a little bit on technology, and we're going to show you how technology can help in your ministry. All right? You can put it aside for savings for just a day that you may go to a library, or you may go to a business house and you get a larger order. You're going to have some of those savings that you can purchase the books with, and you'll be able to get your money. Or you can use it to clear your debt. If you have debt at an Apple store, you can use that to clear your debt. So you have that extra money, but always be cognizant of what you do. You must give a strict account of that extra money. All right, so let's go now. So what impacts your profit? So we talked about, remember we talked about profit, and out of your profit comes your tithe. So what impacts that profit? You have your income, you have your expenditure, and then you have your profit. So what impacts your profit? What can decrease your profit? Right? Management of your salary. Because if you don't manage your salary well, it means that every time that you are falling short in your home, where are you going to go? You're going to go and touch the money in the business. And that decreases your profit, or decreases the amount of money that you have for reinvestment. All right? And of course, coming out of that is debt incurred. Debt incurred. What I'm talking about is that you may, once again, because of mismanagement of your salary, you may incur debt, credit card, hire purchase, whatever the case may be. So all of these things impact your profit, because your profit that was supposed to be there to return your tithe and to reinvest in the business, now you find that you are touching that profit, you are using that profit to cover mismanagement of your salary, right? To cover mismanagement of your salary. So now let's talk a little bit then about management of your salary, or a home budget. So you have your business budget, and then you have your home budget. Your business budget, and then your home budget. Your business budget is your income, less the cost of the books, less your salary, less tokens for customers, which gives you your profit, less your tithe and offering, and then you can reinvest the rest. Buy shoes. You may find that your shoes may be hurting. You can of course buy shoes and so forth. But no, not with that reinvestment. But that reinvestment is strictly for business. That's reinvesting in the business. All right, so now let's look at the management of your salary. And once again, we're going with the home budget. You have your total salary. It was $400. Your tithe and offering, once again, I'm going at the 20%. So you're going to return tithe on your business profit, and you're going to return tithe on your salary, right? We're going to return tithes on your salary. Of course, you must set aside a percentage for savings, 10%. They say between 5 to 10%. I put this at the higher marker so that you can be able to know if you can do 10%, do 10%. So 10% for savings. And then home expenditure will be 70%. So your groceries, your rent, your mortgage, your transportation, cost of your transportation should be 70% of your salary. If you find that you're not keeping to these numbers, it may mean that either your salary is too low and you're not able to sustain. And if your salary is too low, then you have to look back at what your business is making and see if you can increase your salary. And that's how you get increased salary, right? So you realize that, okay, look at my business is making an extra $20. I'm gonna put that into my salary. And of course, that increases your tithe and income as well. So the budget process, as I said, manages the distribution of the income. I talked about this just now. Your tithes, 10%. Your offerings, what is needed to satisfy the work of God. Now, I want you to understand this very, very key principle. Literature ministry alone cannot finish the work. You can disagree with me if you want. Literature ministry alone cannot finish the work. It needs other ministries. Other ministries are needed in order for the work to be finished. And so therefore, when you return your tithe, you are contributing to the pastoral ministry, which is needed. And when you return your offering, you're contributing to the ministries in your church, deaconry, community services, men's ministry, women's ministry, children's ministry, youth ministry. All of these ministries you are contributing to when you return your offering. And so if you want your ministry to prosper, you have to make sure that these other ministries are also have enough finance so that they can be effective and efficient in what they do. All right. So that's why you need to make sure that your offerings are given. I had 10%, but we'll see. Then you have your savings, at least 5 to 10%. And as I said, you can use those savings, and you usually use savings for emergencies, cash funds, short-term investment in assets, long-term investment in assets, purchase of income-generating assets, and purchase of assets that appreciate or grow in value, like land. So now, in your home budget, you have a savings section, and you use that savings now as an emergency section to purchase assets that can either generate income, or assets that can help not you and your ministry, but can help life at home be easier. Can help life at home be easier. And they tell me savings, they're key to funding future needs. So the reason why you have savings is that you put in your savings apart so that when future things come up, when future expenditure, when future assets become available, you can use your savings, your family savings, to fund these activities. Then you have your future needs can be short term, it can be medium term, or it can be long term. Yeah, it can be long term. Then we talked about your expenditure, which is your mortgage, your car loan, your education, your family, your credit bills, your food, your utility bills. All of these expenses should come out to about 60 to 70%. Your debt should be about 33% of that. Well, 33% of the amount. So if your debt is 33% of your income, it means then that in your present expenses, you probably will have, if you have a mortgage, if you have a car loan, those things should not go past 33, 36%, a third of your income. All right, and then you can be able to so if that's 36 from 70, you're looking at 34% for groceries, for other bills, for credit cards, whatever it is. So we can understand then why if you do not manage your money well, it can create a ripple effect wherein you start to use your reinvestment money or your profit in your business to cover it. So now some people may say to me, but Pastor, that's all right, is all is in my house. No, it's not all right. Let me just say why it's not all right, because your business needs to thrive, and your business needs money to thrive. And if you spend your money on all sorts of things other than your business will flop. And let me just say one of the persons that I work for who was doing that, using whatever money, they will go and collect money from a customer. They will come and they will spend the money in Care Shepherd. They will spend the money at the supermarket. And when they get back home, they don't have the money. And yeah, they may got receipts, but they can't tell you where the money gone. And when it comes now to buying materials now to make more of the items, they didn't have the money because they spent it in the supermarket on apples and tuna and all sorts of other things. All right. So managing your salary is very, very critical. And one of the serious aspects of money management is debt management. Debt management. And one of the first things they tell us is always avoid unnecessary debt on items that decline in value. So it tells us that sometimes there will be necessary debt on items that decline in value. So you may have a car declines in value. Every year, that car value goes down. From the time you drive that car out of the dealership, that car value has gone down. So every year that goes down. So that declines in value, but some people will call it a necessary debt because of what having a car is able to do in terms of their mobility and their ability to move around. So if you can avoid it as much as possible, avoid unnecessary debt on items that decline in value, and manage your credit card and avoid debt on your credit card. So a credit card is such a sweet thing because to go into a store and don't have to pull out cash, you just tap, swipe, pin, whatever your case may be, you get what you need. But you have to understand that at the end of the month, you have to pay that money to the bank. And the bank is going to charge you, if you don't pay that money, the bank is going to charge you 21 to 22%. That's a lot of money. A loan is usually 7 or 8%. And here's a bank going to charge you 22% for using their credit card, And so you got to be able to manage that wisely, that credit card, and avoid that on the credit card. So here's some things that you can do to manage your credit card. Establish an emergency fund, so that any month that you may be short, you can go to that emergency fund and help clear your credit card. You want to be able to clear your credit card every month. Charge only what you can afford. So only charge what is in. So if you know that you can only afford $400 in gas, don't go and charge $600 in gas on your credit card, because you can only be able to pay for $400. And that other $200 is going to incur penalty charges of 22%. Wow. Just like that. So you charge only what you can afford. So when you go to the supermarket, when you go online shopping and you see all these things, whoa, all these things, boy, I wish I could buy all these things. And you pull your credit card, says you have a $10,000 US balance. Voila. You go shopping like, swipe, ping, ping, ping. But you got to remember that next month you have to pay. Next month you have to pay. And what they tell you is that they say, okay, listen, if you can't pay all, pay this amount. Just pay a little small amount, not knowing that when you pay that small amount, you're still paying interest on the full amount at the 22%. So if you let's say your credit card, you spent $500 and you only paid $250 as your payment. That other $250 is going to be charged 22%. In fact, you know what they're going to do is charge you 22% on the $500 until the $500 has been completely paid off. So that's what banks and them do. So that's why you got to charge only what you can afford. That's how you manage your credit card. Do not pay off one credit card with another credit card. That doesn't make sense. Pay off credit card in full each month and don't miss any payments. So it means that in the previous month, you charge only what your salary can handle and what you have in your budget for those items. So in your budget, you're gonna have a thing for food, gas costs, whatever the case may be. You're gonna pay for that with your credit card, but you're only charging what you have money for. You're only charging what you have money for. And of course, know the signs of credit card debt. And one of the signs of credit card debt is not being able to pay your balance in full. So every literature evangelist, if you have a credit card, you should try to make sure you pay it off in full every month. Every literature evangelist, if you're going to get involved in the debt, please try to avoid higher purchase. Please try to avoid higher purchase. I know sometimes you say it makes it easier for you to get what you want, but the cost attached to getting what you want is very, very, very high. The cost attached to getting what you want is very, very high. So I want to encourage you to make sure that you pay that credit card off on time and pay it off in full, so that you are able to manage that account. So that's the financial, the literature evangelist and financing, managing your funds, so that you are able to buy more solutions, so you can sell more solutions, so you can be able to buy technology for that particular business that can make life a whole lot easier for you, so that you can be able to buy stuff for your home, buy things for your home, and still be able to make sure that you have something left in the business to help carry on the business. And I pray that as you would have listened, and that whatever principles you would have heard, that you would apply to your life, and that through it, your ministry will become a blessing to you and a blessing to others. Father, we give you thanks for your love and your goodness and your grace. We thank you for every literature evangelist. Help them to understand the financial principles that are now being shared with them, and that they too will apply it to their lives, so that the ministry is not just about when money comes in, I spend it as I see fit, but the ministry is about being intentional, and that when money is received, that money has already been planned for in the budget. I can go where the budget wants it to go. So thank you once again, Father, for what you'll do through them, and continue to bless this activity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen.